Hi everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video we are going to create a boho rainbow using Inkscape. So to begin with, I'm just going to draw a straight line at the bottom here just to use as a guide for the bottom of our rainbow, and we'll do that by selecting the Bezier tool. And to draw a straight line, I'm just going to hold my control key down, click where I want it to end, and then hit the enter key. So we have our line here just to give us a guide. Now let's draw our first arch. We'll do that by again selecting the Bezier tool, and we're going to click where we want that arch to start. Click again where we want the top of it to be, and then click where we want it to end. Again, hit the enter key and go back to my select tool. Just so you can see, it does look like a rectangle right now, and we're going to change that by choosing this node tool here. Select this top node and then choose make selected node smooth, and there we go. Now you can edit this to your liking by just clicking on this node. You see I bring it up and down. These handles are going to change the angle. So keep in mind that a boho rainbow is supposed to look hand-drawn, so we don't want it to be perfect. It's much better if it's not, actually. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my select tool. I'm going to come over to my stroke, my fill and stroke. I'm just going to leave it as black for now, and then we'll go back and change the colors. But I do want to change the stroke style. I'm going to work in pixels, and I'm going to choose 20 pixels. Maybe this one I'm going to choose 25. It's very subjective. And I also want to change this cap here. I think that looks much better for the style that we want to go for. Okay, so we have our first arch drawn. Now we're going to hit Control D to duplicate that. So we have our second one just by duplicating it. And then we go in and move it around, resize it. We have a second one, and now a third one. For this video, I think we can just do 4 of them, and you'll get the idea of how it all works. Obviously, you can do more or less, depending on what you want, exactly what you want your rainbow to look like. Okay. That's the basics. Now I'm going back, selecting this outermost arch here, the top one, and I am going to duplicate it again. I'm going to go back and change the stroke color to something that I can see. It can be like white, red. It doesn't really matter as long as you can see it. Because like I said, we're going to go back and change after we choose a palette, we'll change all the colors. So here, let's just go with a white color here. And I want the stroke style. I'm going to bring that down. Let's bring it to 15. Maybe a little less than that. How about 5? Is that too? No, that's fine. Okay, I'm going to leave that one right there. Now I'm going to choose my second arch. Duplicate that. Again, change the color to white. And the stroke, let's bring it down to 15. We'll see how that looks. Now, Let's bring it down to 10. Okay, and now we're going to change the dashes here. So this is where you can get creative and pick different ones and just see what you like best. And I'm going to do that one more time for this one here. Let's duplicate it back to the paint, the stroke color, and the style. Let's see. There we go. Now for this final one, I'm going to do something a little different. So what I'm going to do is create a star. So I come over here and choose the stars and polygons. All right, there we go. Now we can see it very well. And you can change the corners. You can change the spoke ratio. So again, it's however you want this to appear. Let's see. All right. I think that's good for now. I'm going to bring it over here. I'm going to turn off the snapping because that it's not something I need right now. Okay, this is locked, so when I resize it, the aspect ratio will stay the same. And I just want to make it small enough to fit inside this other stroke. Okay, see, I need to get rid of the stroke color there. And let's see. So, I think that'll look nice. And like I said, this is all subjective. Now, I'm going to take it off of here. And now, while that's selected, I'm going to go to Path, Object to Path. And then select this stroke here and choose Extensions, Generate from Path, Scatter. Now, here I would advise you to follow path orientation. And then the space between the copies, 10, I'm just going to leave it at 10. I'm just going to leave the rest of this as it is and hit Apply. Close, and there we go. So that's how you can get really creative and add your own different shapes. So now the final part is we want to change the colors. We want to change this color scheme. What I have done is I go over to Color Hunt and choose a palette from here. So there's a lot of palettes, different colors that you can choose. Let's look at some retro. Okay. All right, for this demonstration, let's look at this one. And what we're going to do is download it, download the image, and then go ahead and import that into our Inkscape document. Okay. So that's an easy way to just grab a palette. Of course, you can choose any colors you want. And then we're going to go back and just using the eyedropper, we can change all the colors. So, and like I said, this is purely subjective, whatever you like. So you get the idea. Let's see. Here. For these objects, as you see, I had to use the fill. Now, I'm going to undo that. Okay, back to my select tool. Now, if I select the stroke that the stars are sitting on, I'll go back and select from here. Let's see. And there we go. Okay. So that's the basics of how you make a boho rainbow in Inkscape. Now you can use this for print on demand. So if you want to put it on a t-shirt or something like that, what you would do is select it. Make sure you don't have a background. Okay, I don't have if I had a background triangle or anything underneath, it's going to select everything. So just go ahead and select it. I'm going to group it just to hold it together for myself, because in case I move it around. All right, so now that I have my rainbow and I have it grouped, I'm going to File and export it as a PNG. And then I can upload it to something like Printful, which is where I sell t-shirts and things like that. That's the company that I use. I sell them through Etsy. So then you can just choose the file name here. Then after you choose the file name, hit the export key. And there we go. You have a PNG that you can now upload to your Etsy store or use it however you like. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please check out the links below this for more information about Inkscape, my Etsy store, and hope to see you in the next video.